Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS with world peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of this video is re-upload 4 years ago. Instruments of the Churl are cruel. All right, and this is a video from the elder bro here. His YouTube channel GMS Rock Solid Foundation 3. All right, which this is not his main channel. All right, I believe this is like a secondary type channel that he's using, while the main channel is trying to get rid of some strikes, right? But subscribe and be edified. This video that he uploaded, I watched the whole thing, and when I was listening to it, all I thought about was Second Ezra 15 and 16, where it says, woe is me who delivered me in those days, right? Because they go into some crazy things. Now, what I'll do real quick, because all I'm really do is give you a few precepts, get like 10 minutes of this, and get this movie, leave the world behind. You know, and basically the point is that first and foremost, go watch this video here that's on the screen, and then on top of that, when you watch Leave the World Behind, there's a scene where a loud noise or frequency, right, is put out, and all the main cast is covering their ears and stuff, and then eventually the one dude, mind you, the only one person in the movie started pulling out his teeth, all right, after that sound. But now we have real life, you know, with everything that's going on regarding the juice jabs and all of that, and what's inside of them. They send with a certain type of sound, what's inside your body now can be released and you know, do things to you basically. So you check this video out, but let me start with this. Psalm 64 and 8, and I'm gonna get the brother scripture that he quoted right there in the title. Psalm 64 and 8, it says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, all that see them shall flee away. Now, the reason why I got that scripture is because in this movie, produced by the Obamas, meaning Barack Obama, the former president of the United States of America, he produced this movie. This everything that's happening right now. In the opening scenes, we had an oil tanker hit the beach. Meaning what? No more oil. What's happening today? Matter of fact, America runs out of oil, so-called tank bottoms Wednesday. Yeah, like in the next 2 days, Wednesday. Then you have the planes falling out of the sky. No more travel. You have the Tesla vehicles blocking up all the roads. You have war panthers falling out of the sky, right? You have bunkers, right? A lot of shit happening. So what you have the top wicked elite fleeing America, buying bunkers. You know, what is it? The Meta guy, Facebook guy, I forgot his name, right? You had the dude from Palantir leave and enroll his children in school in Argentina. American, so he left America, right? So all of that movie is speaking about what's happening right now. You know, then it goes into like, you know, wars, right? Pestilence, you know, famines and all of that, right? No power, you know. So, you know, that movie says a lot, basically. And I'm gonna grab, because like I said, I really thought about 16. You know, I'm gonna play, you know, Lord willing, 10 to 11, 12 minutes of the brother's video, the first 12 minutes, and I'm gonna just let it play. All right. This is Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 17 says, woe is me, who delivered me in those days, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when this evil shall come? So that's what I was thinking about when the video was over. I had to do a moment of silence. I was like, hold on, because I was driving. I just, you know, press pause. I'm thinking, I was like, God damn, these fucking devils, you know. So, verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are seen as scourges for a minute. So all this is coming and it's here, you know, and they're ready for it. All right. And in this movie, Leave the World Behind, it entails all of this right here I just read. All right. So I wanted to grab these two. I said I was going to grab what the brother got in his title. You know, one of my favorite scriptures like going to Isaiah 32 and verse 5. But you got verse 7 there. Isaiah 32 and 5 says, the vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the Churl said to be bountiful. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord Yahweh to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to faint. The instruments also of the Churl are evil. He devises wicked jacks. All right. And what's inside of it? Okay, so I'm gonna get this right here. Leave the World Behind is the movie. You go watch the movie. It's free on Netflix. Well, you got to pay for Netflix. I don't know where it's free at. All right, you go watch it. Posted in 2023. All right, and everything in this movie is happening right now in the world. All right, and we're inching closer and closer, to it all being fulfilled. So check that out. So Leave the World Behind. Leave the World Behind. The guy that plays Archie Stanford pulls out teeth. Now there's a scene in there where a loud bang is heard, and I guess a bug bites him, but shit, you got bugs too. Well, it's like one of the meat bugs where people get bit by this meat bug and you can't eat the meat or whatever. So it's bugs there too. But what they're describing in the brother's video that he posted is going to be a frequency, a sound to trigger something. And mind you, this frequency and sound was triggered in the movie, and nothing else happened after that regarding that sound. Nothing. Like what was it? It doesn't go to nothing else. That sound is played. Archie pulls out his teeth, but at the same time he did get bit by that bug. That was to throw you off. It was the sound. And so imagine everyone in the movie now started pulling teeth out after they heard the sound. That'd be too suspicious. So that's what I believe. I speak as a man, but I believe that. That's what I was thinking about you when I was watching this video. Right. So why did Archie's teeth fall out and leave the world behind? It says Archie's teeth could have fallen out due to a weird bug bite or Havana syndrome, right? Whatever. Then it says after being exposed to screeching noises and leave the world behind. All right, the screeching noises is the part. Why was Archie pulling his teeth out? Archie's mysterious illness is possibly caused by sound waves attacks and a bug bite. So the sound waves again are there. All right. So that's the point I wanted. I got that right there, which I'm gonna get. So it says in Netflix apocalyptic thriller, Leave the World Behind, the mysterious deafening sound is an invisible weapon used as part of a coordinated coup. It says leave the world behind, a loud sound scene. The piercing frequency, which causes characters to experience intense vertigo, headaches, and physical pain, is likely an application of directed microwave radiation or a sonic weapon similar to the real life Havana syndrome. All right, and I got that video real quick. So fair use. Fair use. Play this. Now, this is from the movie Leave the World Behind. All right. This is one of the scenes.
This is just a couple of teenagers in the Philippines.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Where are my kids?
I no longer think that.
Why the hell would they have that in the movie? It did nothing. That loud sound, nothing happens after. Like there's no link to it, right? To say what happened. It just happens one time and they move on about their life. That sound is what they're describing right here in this video I'm about to play. So again, fair use. Basically, the dude starts pulling out his teeth. All right, you can go ahead and watch it. You can see it right there. Bro's pull out his teeth is missing. Oh, so all right.
The meaning of Archie's teeth is a big WTF moment in the movie. So what is going on here? Again, this ties in with the idea of the truth being much scarier than any sort of speculation. First, they downplay everything by saying it's probably.
Anyway, so here's the brother's video, right? That was my precepts. Of course, second edges 15 and 16 goes into it. I gave you the brother's precept, Isaiah 32, and starting at verse 5, and the Psalm 64 and 8, because they told themselves in this movie again, they made this sound and then nothing. What was the sound for? So right here, I paused it where I'm gonna play from the beginning. At 10 minutes and 54 seconds, it says, yeah, like electromagnetic frequencies is even more interesting. All right.
I propose that we end the world, but on our terms, an orchestrated apocalypse, one that will cleanse the earth of its population but leave its infrastructure and resources intact. It's been done once before, with great success. The chosen few will ride out the storm, not in an ark as in the book of Genesis, but in safety, underground. And when it's over, we will emerge onto a cleansed earth, one that we can then reboot in our image.
And just how do you intend to achieve this?
The means of our salvation are already at hand. I give to you the T-virus.
During my recent studies into immunology and virology to try and better understand what's going on with viruses and the vaccines they're pushing, I discovered a paper written in 2017 by two Italian scientists, husband and wife, Gatti and Montanetti. And they have been testing vaccines since 2004. They've tested 44 vaccines in total. And they have found that these vaccines are contaminated with inorganic nanoparticles, including all sorts of things like heavy metals, lead, etc. This leads me to believe that vaccines have been causing immune responses for many years, which may be presenting as influenzas and other illnesses. And that the more of these symptoms that appear, the more of the vaccines given to try and prevent them. It appears to me that there's some sort of a endless loop between vaccines and illnesses. Vaccines cause illnesses, illnesses demand more vaccines. We really need to get to the bottom of this. However, during that research, I discovered something even more worrisome. In April, Bill Gates' Gavi published an article on their website stating that Marburg was the next big pandemic that we have to worry about. Marburg is a relatively rare hemorrhagic fever. We've only had 16 cases since 2005. What does Bill Gates and Gavi know that we don't? Why would this be a threat? Why would the World Health Organization, mainstream media, be publishing articles about this rare disease? When I researched further, I found that they've already developed a PCR test for it. This is very worrying in that they can now prove that, like for COVID, that anybody might have Marburg with this test, and it would be hard, like the current PCR test, to disprove it. They've also published, I found that they published papers claiming that Marburg is spread by bats asymptomatically. This is something that's been disproven during the COVID pandemic. If you do not have symptoms, you do not have the virus, therefore you cannot spread it asymptomatically. There is no such thing as asymptomatic spread of a virus. That has now been accepted. However, they have published papers to the contrary. The most worrying development that I found is that they are fast-tracking a new ricin-rich vaccine called Rivax for Marburg. Rivax contains ricin, which is a toxic substance that was used in terrorist attacks in the subways in Tokyo to kill a large number of people. Why would they put such a dangerous toxin into a vaccine? It's very, very strange and worrying so. But how would they start this pandemic of Marburg without actually spreading it? Quite simple. They've already started it. The vaccines injuries that we're seeing at the moment from COVID vaccines include bleeding and clots, which are very similar to hemorrhagic fever. When they give the booster shots to the people in the nursing homes and the hospitals who are prisoners, and to the children who will be in close contact in schools, they will cause further bleeds and clots, which will appear as hemorrhagic fever. They will test with their new PCR test. They will say that it's Marburg. This will explain the excess deaths that we're seeing in hospitals for them. It will be a cover-up. They will say that deaths in the hospital are not due to COVID vaccine injuries, they're due to Marburg. There will be a very, very large, sudden panic that will ensue. There will be mass hysteria like we never saw before. People will rush to get anything that will protect them. The Rivax vaccine will be rushed through and given as an experimental vaccine in the same way the COVID vaccines were given. However, one big difference with the ricin vaccine is that the infrastructure is already in place and all the resources are there to deliver the ricin vaccine in a very short period of time. It could achieve 100% coverage of the population in very little time. The ricin in the vaccine will kill millions of billions of people very rapidly. There's no way of stopping it once it starts. The only way we can stop this Marburg epidemic from being touted by Bill Gates, Gavi, World Health Organization, and whoever else is behind it, is to stop taking COVID vaccines. We must convince our friends, our relatives, everybody, that it is the wrong thing to do. It will make them sicker. What they must rely on is their natural immunity. Build it back up with vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and all the other minerals that are necessary. If they become sick with COVID, we have ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, which are very effective. We do not need a vaccine which is causing hemorrhagic fever symptoms. We must stop it immediately. If we do not stop it, we will be looking at an alleged Marburg pandemic being touted, and that will be the excuse for issuing the ricin-based vaccine, which will kill billions. This is an urgent request to try and stop this before it starts. Please spread this video to everybody. I have posted all the research on lourockwell.com in relation to what I've spoken to here. Please read it. Please do your own research. You will see what I'm saying is true. You will also note that I have nothing to gain by saying what I'm saying. All I have is to lose. I'm sure my job is in jeopardy in the hospital, and God knows what else is in jeopardy. But I feel so strongly about this that we must do something before they release this Marburg scare, an excuse to inject people with ricin toxic chemicals. Please spread this video as soon as you can.
Okay, this video I'm about to upload has been heavily censored. I've tried uploading it before. Now I got a lot more followers. I think people need to see this video. I'm going to heavily edit it down and maybe even take the sound out of it, and I'll kind of explain what's going on, and I'll tell you what terms to look up on your own so that you can do this on your own.
Because we're at Rice, we had plenty of nanotubes around, so we decided to use nanotubes, and what we discovered was that these nanotubes can actually string together and form wires by themselves under this electric field.
This fundamental idea of force acting in a...
Now what you guys just saw, if the sound gets cut out, whatever, but what you guys just saw is a scientific phenomenon known as Tesla-phoresis. Now, what they can do is they can turn on a radio or electrical signal in the air, or radio signal, or cell phone tower, let's say, and the nanotubes can self-assemble wires and make little circuitry connections. And if you guys have been following my videos at all, you've seen that there's definitely graphene oxide in the shots, and graphene oxide is used to make these nanotubes as well. So who's to say they couldn't just flip a switch and, you know, something self-assembles inside your body and you're no longer even the same person? Just a thought.
And the CDC actually came out themselves the other day and they said, oh, we've decided that the PCR is an unsuitable test to determine for COVID, and we want you to use a couple of new tests we figured out. Well, no, we don't want to use your new test. The important part about what you said is that the PCR is not a suitable test, which is what we've been saying since the very beginning. And just that statement itself, the PCR is not a suitable test. Well, okay, you've locked the whole world down over the results of these unsuitable tests, which we told you were unsuitable right at the beginning, and Carrie Mullis told you were unsuitable when he invented the thing. So, you know, you've locked the whole world down under false pretenses. That's basically what that is. That's an admission that they have locked the entire world down using a test which is not a test. It's not a suitable test. The graphene, there's been tests and there's been experiments that have been done on graphene-based neuromodulation technology and brain-controlling biocircuits using AI-powered graphene. Yeah, graphene's interesting stuff, folks, and how graphene reacts when it's exposed to electromagnetic frequencies is even more interesting.
Смотрите, что будет происходить. Вот он вызов пошел. Смотрите, что теперь. Ну. Вызов идет, если вы можете смотреть, видите.
You know, so, hey, you know, Jacob Trouble is around the corner. Watch the video. It goes into a lot more, right? It's pretty crazy, but, you know, the facts is there. The movie that the Obamas pushed out, clearly show a loud sound ringing out. Afterwards, they show this guy pulling out his teeth. They also show him getting bit by a bug, but again, that's just to throw you off. And again, they have bugs out now. The bug that bites you with I guess you get allergic to meat or something. But hey, so Lord willing, you're edified from this lesson. Shalom to the hopeful elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.